Hi, guys. Welcome to the latest episode of the Tap of Snap podcast. We're back after our winter break, a much needed one. I think it was
Yeah,
a little too extended because there was no UFC for, I think, 6 to 8 weeks.
yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
But we're starting off with a banger. Paramount is here, UFC 324.
yeah,
And to start it up, we have to talk about the big fight that's not taking place. That's Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. The curse
yeah.
continues. Something happens or another for a big card. Harrison's out after going undergoing neck surgery. So let's start off there. What are your guys' thoughts on this? And I think we should segue and bring Ali Abdelaziz into this because Ricardo's rocking the Ali Abdelaziz look. Abdelaziz came out in an interview and he said that this was really important for Harrison to undergo immediate surgery because of her herniated discs in the
Mm,
back, and she's in pain. She couldn't lift her arm, and
yeah.
if this continued, then she would have been paralyzed, which is kind of
sheesh.
yeah, that's kind
That's
of that's kind of scary, right?
that.
She's like a top
Yeah, it
athlete.
is.
So he thanked the UFC because they have the best doctors and they have the best hospitals, and Harrison's a little
Mm,
upset about not fighting, but health comes first. And
Mm.
Dana White has said that this fight will take place later on, so
Yeah.
that's there. But your thoughts on this because this is like big news.
Unfortunate for sure. Like the first Paramount card. And I don't think they have enough entertaining high profile fights for the first card as it is. Even of course, like the main event, people would tune in because it's Paddy and people want to, I think it's like the Jake Paul scenario. People want to see him get, beat up. So maybe, but whether Gaethje will do it or not, that's another thing. But yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Like I mean, I feel bad for them. The co-main event was the fight, and
Yeah.
I think Kayla. Oh, what do you think happens now? I don't think Amanda would fight, right? Like, no, she is not gonna fight, and she shouldn't fight. She should just come back for the super fight, win or lose, whatever, and then hang it up or something. Which I'm pretty sure she won't do if she wins the belt back. But
mm,
uh, yeah, unfortunate. Let's hope we get the fight at least. Let's hope this is not the end. This is not the last time we hear about Amanda Nunes. So
I
never
mean,
mind.
it's a tough situation for not really for Amanda Nunes because she's accomplished everything that a
Yeah,
fighter could want to accomplish.
yeah,
It's really bad for Kayla Harrison because this was going to be her super fight. It's the fight that has been rumored for so long, even before she was in the UFC, when she was still undefeated. This was the fight everybody was talking about. Let's bring in Kayla Harrison. Even when Amanda Nunes was going to fight Juliana Pena for the first time, the
yeah,
conversation was, okay, after this, what happens? Let's bring in Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison. Is she the next Ronda Rousey? Is she this? Is she that? And she finally got the opportunity. And it's really bad for her, not just because she lost the super fight, but because I don't think Kayla Harrison is going to be in the UFC for that long because she's too big. And 135 is such a tough weight cut for her. I don't see her being able to make this weight cut frequently, and there's no 145 division. So this was her way to, because she's not going to break any title defense records. I just don't think she can make this weight consistently for years and years and years because the older you get, the harder it becomes to do these weight cuts. And she's huge, she's massive. And I just don't see a scenario where there's much else. I feel like she was going to fight Amanda Nunes if she won, maybe two more title defenses, and then that's probably it. I just don't see her sticking around for that long.
yeah.
And yeah, losing the fight. Where do you even go from here? Amanda Nunes has nothing else to do. You could, if you wanted to, you could do the Valentina trilogy because Shevchenko doesn't really have anything to do in her division for the most part. There's Natalia Silva, obviously, but is anyone really clamoring to watch Shevchenko fight Natalia Silva? Maybe the hardcore fans like us, but in general, I don't think most people even know who Natalia Silva is outside
Yeah.
of Brazil and some hardcore fans. So if you're the UFC, do you go, well, we got to do something with Amanda? let's have her fight Shevchenko for an interim title, do the trilogy. Shevchenko thinks she won the second fight or the first fight. I forget which one she truly believes she won.
The first fight, yeah.
Let's just have them set the first fight. Yeah, let's just have them settle that interim fight. Winner gets Kayla Harrison, especially because there was talk about, hey, where does Shevchenko go from here? She can move up because there's really nothing for her to do. But I don't know. I don't know what you can do at this point. Maybe wait,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
what if it happens again?
Oh yeah, that's the way thing. So Dana said that he's gonna wait,
Yeah.
and this is apparently the biggest women's fight that he can make.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, since we're talking about trilogies, Juliana Pena posted an Instagram story about wanting a
Oh,
trilogy.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that was the reaction of almost
Jesus.
everybody on it. Yeah, unfortunate.
Has she
Uh,
has she won a fight recently?
uh,
Isn't she coming off a loss or something,
that's a
or
very
I
good
don't know.
question. I don't know. I think she did win her last fight. Did she not?
No, no, she lost, right? She lost to
She
her.
lost, right?
Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah, she
lost.
lost to
Yeah.
Harrison. She lost to
Harrison.
Kayla Harrison. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how she got
So
the title. So
yeah. So that's that. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I hope we
nice.
get that fight. I hope we get that fight. Amanda and Kyla want to see it, so I hope it happens. But
I'm
hey,
sure they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait for it. It has to happen. I think it makes the most sense. Is he gonna
I
sell?
mean, it does.
Yeah. So we need to also talk about the main fight of the card, which I think should have been the
Oh
co-main
my
because it's an
God.
yeah,
interim title
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. There's so many loose ends to this. I don't know how this was set up, but Paddy
Mhm.
Pimblett faces Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title. Ilya Topuria is out for personal reasons. We all know what's
yeah,
happening there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Arman Surikans spent 6 weeks meeting almost every influencer out there.
yeah. The
Like
boy
Yeah.
has cracked
Yeah.
the
everywhere.
code. The
It's
boy has cracked the
insane.
code.
Like I read somewhere that he went from being the most hated fighter to
Yeah,
being the
yeah,
most loved guy in 6 weeks. It's insane. He's done RAF wrestling and all.
yeah.
But let's get down to this fight. KG versus Pimblet. How do you see it happening? And then the bigger question, obviously, is did they deserve an interim title shot? We'll start with Ricardo.
No, neither of those guys deserves an interim title shot at all. Gaethje he's a fun fighter.
Yeah.
He's really fun to watch, but when it comes to title fights, he's a perennial failure because he fought Habib, he lost, then he fights Charles Oliveira, loses as well, and he didn't really do much to earn this because before this, he had what did he do before this?
He's here, I
He
guess.
fought he
He lost
fought
to
He's
Oliver,
here.
right?
Rafael
He's
Fiziev.
here.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
fought Fiziev, and I don't think that win merits anything because Fiziev, also fun fighter and everything, but Fiziev was not ranked in the top 10 and he was coming in on short notice and he's someone that Gaethje had already beaten before. So why are you earning a title shot after doing nothing except beating a guy you already beat who was ranked outside of the top 10 and was coming in on short notice? Like, come on. And then you have a close fight of all things. That's not really something that's worthy of fighting for a title, especially when you have guys like Arman Sarukian in the mix. And then with Paddy Pimblett has had the easiest path to the title you could imagine.
Yeah.
Bobby Green, like just fighters that, yeah, they're fine, they're serviceable, but these are not. Oh yeah, we have to watch him fight for the title now. What's the name of the fighter that everybody believes he lost to?
Jared Gordon. Jared
Jared
Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared Gordon, and come on. It's just such an easy path to the title. You beat Jared Gordon, you beat Bobby Green, you beat Michael Chandler. Who doesn't beat Michael Chandler at this point? Everybody beats Michael Chandler.
Oh
Michael Chandler
God.
has only ever beaten Tony Ferguson and Dan Hooker. And Dan Hooker is, he's cool, which, brings me to my next point. The only reason Paddy has gotten much attention over these past weeks is because of the whole beef with
Yeah.
with Dan Hooker. Because
Yeah.
I don't think Paddy Pimblett is the big star that people make him out to be. He's not really a good trash talker. All he does is call people sausage and mushroom and say, "Okay, you're the next Conor McGregor," because You call people sausages and a mushroom, like, and he hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't beaten anybody. So I don't think either guy deserves it. As far as who's gonna win, either man can win, honestly. Paddy Pimblett, not a very good striker. He fights with his chin in the air, hands low, no head movement, just walks forward. He does have some good kicks, and if he can use those kicks to keep Gaethje at a distance, like the front kicks to the body, it's gonna be a tough night. But his wrestling isn't good. When he gets to the ground, you're in for a nightmare. But it's a lot easier to out grapple Gaethje when he's on the ground versus actually getting him to the ground. He's not an easy guy to take down. And if Paddy cannot get the takedown, I just don't see how he wins because Gaethje's an infinitely better striker than he is. He hits hard enough to make him pay for that really bad habit of just fighting with his chin in the air. And yeah, I just don't. I can't pick with certainty because Gaethje might just go in there and just swing just like he did against Charles Oliveira. Swing so hard he like got off his own feet, and then if you do that against Paddy, I can see Paddy just jumping on his back and it's over. But it's not a fight I'm excited about. I can't imagine anyone except Paddy's family and Dana White are excited for this. So
All right. Hey, vintage Ricardo, huh?
Yeah, he's on form today.
Ah, all right. I don't know, man. I think it's just a case of stars aligning. Stars just aligned for both the fighters, in fact. Because there are technically currently fighters who are better than these two in the division, I believe. Let's say Arman Sarukian, we all know what is happening with him. So I don't think we need to. Everybody knows. He pulled out of one of their biggest cards of last year. Then the whole thing with Dan Hooker, like headbutting him. He made a lot of bad decisions, and he is trying to rectify some of those right now on social media, gaining popularity and all. But whatever, he's out of the picture. But then that takes us to Charles Oliveira, and his lifeless corpse. It's still there in people's minds. Okay, it's there. So and then who? Okay, Max Holloway do have a quality win against Dustin Poirier, but again the same thing. Got his lights shut out by the champion.
Yeah.
So those two are not going to fight. So they need someone who the champion hasn't beat yet. That is okay. Gaethje has lost to two champions before, but not to this champion. So they're like, hey, let's try him again. And Paddy Pimblett. It's a case of they have a beef, right? The whole Georgia thing, they have a beef going on. And but was hand sanitizer boy, El Chudit, so whatever he's calling him these days. So there's a storyline there. And Paddy Pimblett, of course, he's not the star Conor McGregor is. Nobody is. But I think the Gen Z, right, the younger generation, I think they gravitate towards him because it's not the classic kind of trash talk, but the irritating kind of trash talk. Coupled with, he's not the usual tough guy fighter, right? He's a goofy guy who's good at fighting. And people love that shit right now. So I think everything just aligned perfectly for Paddy Pimblett. And of course, his wins are, not very credible, but still, he does have a couple of wins in the UFC. And coming to the fight itself, I don't know, man. Like Gaethje, I don't think he can just blitz Pimblett with one punch. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, if he gets a couple of combinations in, then yes. And yes, Gaethje is a very good defensive wrestler. And Paddy's going to have a hard time getting him to the ground. And that might be enough for Gaethje to, unleash his deadly leg kicks and, like, destroy his momentum, like mobility Paddy's. And that might lead to some interesting scenarios where Gaethje could potentially pull off a knockout or TKO or something. Then again, if Gaethje overcommits, we know Paddy is very good with unconventional submissions, those flying triangles and stuff. So I could see it as a 50-50 fight, but if I have to put money on someone, I would put on Pimblett, man, because the guy has momentum and he is on the rise. He might not be one of the greatest fighters alive, but he is on the rise, and Gaethje has one foot outside the door. So maybe this this is one of those wins that Paddy is gonna add to his resume off of an aging fighter. I can see him winning the interim title and fighting Topuria. Now that is gonna be interesting. Now that is gonna be interesting. But yeah, I think I'll pick Paddy Pimblett, man, this week at least. Yeah, things are good,
Interesting.
looking up for him.
This week.
Yeah. So the thing with Paddy's, he's hit more headlines
Yeah.
because of what he said about Dan Hooker's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he keeps defending himself. Like people questioned and he said that, no, I didn't say anything wrong about his mother. I just said, I don't want to repeat what he said also.
He said hypothetical scenario.
Yeah.
It's like it's terrible what he said. Like he couldn't grapple a whatever off his ma, and then Hooker shot back and brought up his friend who passed away by suicide, and it's crazy. But I think that just added a little bit more spice. I think should Paddy lose, that's the fight to make. It's Hooker versus Paddy. I mean,
Oh,
that's the
absolutely.
that's the fight that they should make. They should just remove Gaethje and put Hooker there for the fight. Uh, but I think we need to switch gears and also talk about the big event that's coming up in June. There are so many talking points from this. The UFC White House. Donald Trump said he wants 8 or 9 title fights. Today, Dana White has
Insane.
been.
Insane.
Yeah, so there's so much. There's like this segment could be an hour long. It's that big. So Dana White today has come out and said that the fight card will be ready by mid-February, which is like a
Oh.
month away. Yeah,
Damn.
and he has, and the funny thing he said in an interview, I think it was with TMZ. Yeah, he said that once the fight card is ready, he's gonna go to the White House and talk to Donald and Ivanka Trump, and they are gonna ratify certain things. So I don't know, maybe they'll be the ones who'll select the fighters and all. That's hypothetical, but Ivanka Trump is being involved in this event. The other thing is that Dana White said that he doesn't think it's too political that the White House event is taking place. He brought up examples of Barack Obama watching NBA games or being in the stadium and George Bush throwing the pitches in MLB games, but obviously none of them held a match inside the White House. So that's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, of
And
course.
of course. And the funny thing is that he's saying it's not too political. The final point to wrap this up is that Merab Jalishvili has said that the trilogy with Peter Yan cannot take place at the White House because the Russians are not allowed in the White House event. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that message goes all through. So let's start off with this whole Merab Peter Yan thing, and then we'll go and jump into other aspects. So Merab versus Peter Yan has to be a fight. That's going to be an amazing fight. I know it's going to be great, but not wanting that at the White House, that sends a couple of messages. One is like you don't want an entertaining fight, and two is that what are you going to do then? Because there are so many title fights that are getting cancelled, right? So what are you going to set up with? Why can't you have Merab versus Peter Yan?
Hmm. Yeah.
So did I? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mirab
Orion,
versus Peter Yan. It's an interesting fight, but I'm sure I'm sure Peter Yan is not very. I mean, he's not jumping at the bits to run it back. I'm sure. Uh, Even during the press conference, he was like, "Hey, he needs to earn it back and all." So
Right.
it's a hard fight for both men, and Yan knows it's not an easy fight. And but how, man? Like it should be one of the. I mean, not the main event or anything, but like it is an interesting fight. So if you are building a card with interesting fights, this is one of those fights that should be there. But it's a close fight. It could
Right.
go either way again. Third time around, because Mirab had too much activity last year, right? Too much, and it takes a toll on you after a while. I'm not discrediting Jan's win by any stretch, but a well-rested Mirab against anyone is a nightmare. So June, it aligns perfectly. So why not? Only a fool would deny that matchup, refuse to put that matchup in the White House. And politics, man, of course, Russia and US are having issues. And you can't, Trump saying 8 title fights in a White House card. Who trusts that guy anymore? He says everything and anything these days. He wants Greenland, he wants Iraq, he wants Venezuela, he wants everything. So,
He's a
are there
maniac.
8 title shots? I don't know. But
He
But
said
yeah.
9. He said
Oh.
9.
Fights.
9.
Okay.
Nice. Crazy.
It's crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Trump is going off the rails these days, so can't really. I think we
Oh,
might
just
even
these
get
days.
Colby Covington main event, man, if he has his say.
Oh my
He
god.
versus Jorge Masvidal.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Favorite voice of Donald Trump.
Yeah, fighters that we really don't need. In 2026, who cares about Jorge Masvidal?
So that's what I
Jorge
wanted to get.
Masvidal was fine in 2019
No,
when he won 3 fights in a row, and that's it. After that, he's just lost and lost and lost and lost and lost. And at this point, 2026, we don't need to see that. We really don't need to see that. Um, Yeah, I mean, this whole when I heard about the no Russians thing at the UFC White House card, at first I thought they were talking about, Dagestani wrestlers because they want an exciting card. So they don't want, wrestling, wet blankets, etc., just a bunch of control time. Okay, I understand that. I'm not on board with it because I like to see all fighting styles, but I get it. It's not exciting. So that's what I thought. Then when I heard that guys like Piotr Jan are not going to be in there, that's when I realized, oh, okay, this is something else. I don't know exactly what is going on, but it's something else. Now, 8 or 9 title fights is ridiculous. That would literally sabotage the rest of the
Rest of the
UFC's
year,
year
yeah, yeah.
because what else would they put on? Like, there's just nothing else. And Kobe Covington, come on, Jorge Masvidal, Kobe Covington. I mean, at this point, he's over the hill. He's not really won any fights that matter. Jorge Masvidal should just stay retired at this point. It might as well be similar to getting Nate Diaz back. These are not fighters that should be at the UFC White House card because they're over the hill. They're not winning. They don't look good even when they do win. So I don't know about any situation where you get Masvidal and Kobe Covington. I think we need something
No,
else on the cards.
it's very interesting you bring this up because Jorge Masvidal has been beating the drum for the past six
Yeah.
days that he's going to fight Conor McGregor. And
Oh man,
yeah, and this is
poor
after
Michael
Mike.
Chandler.
Yeah, so Dana White has refuted all those claims. He said that Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor would have happened 2, 3 years ago. It's not gonna happen, and he called it not loony shit or goofy shit, right? He called
Yeah,
Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor as goofy shit. He doesn't. So Alex Pereira has said he's not gonna fight at the White House. John Jones, Dana White has said he's not sure about giving John Jones another shot after the Tom Aspinall debacle. We don't know who
right.
Conor McGregor is going to fight. Kayla Harrison is out. Amanda Nunes is not going to fight. No Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. Islam Makhachev is possibly not going to fight. There's no Ilya Topuria. I think
He's
I've
Russian,
rattled.
so
Yeah, he's Russian. So maybe Makhachev
Jeez.
could still fight because he's Dagestani. So I think I've rattled out all the biggest names in the UFC, right? I don't think anybody's left unless I'm mistaken. So, what's this UFC White House card gonna be like? Um,
but
exactly. Yeah,
why
that
not? Why not Connor and
There's just
Jorge
nothing
Masvidal? Why not Connor and Jorge Masvidal? I don't get it. It's a good
because
fight,
Connor
guys. It's
Connor
a
will
good
never
fight.
fight. Connor will never
Yeah,
ever fight ever again.
yeah.
We've been talking about Conor McGregor coming back for how long now? Like, it's been years. This guy will never fight again. If
it's like
he does, I will be shocked.
that
And if he
Titanic
does
meme.
fight, it will be just one. Yeah, it's never happening
The
ever
If he
again.
Titanic meme.
does, if he does,
It is a Titanic meme.
I get the fact that Dana doesn't want Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor because everyone has beaten Michael Chandler, like everyone. So I
Yeah,
get it. Even if Conor comes back, if Conor gets the win, people will be like, okay, everybody gets a win over Michael Chandler. But
yeah.
Jorge Masvidal, I mean, he went out on a losing streak, but he can still scrap, man. Most of the fight he lost were against wrestlers, right? Colby Covington before
I
that,
mean,
Kamaru Usman. We
yeah, he
could
just
put
looked
the
bad
argument.
though. He
Yeah,
just looked bad. I mean, he lost to Nate Diaz in a boxing match, a guy that in 2019 he absolutely
yeah, yeah,
demolished.
yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, the drop off in his ability to
yeah,
fight is just so clear
yeah,
because I don't see how you can, and I understand boxing is not the same as MMA, but that was a
yeah.
striking match more than anything. Yeah, with some kicks involved, but he did outbox him when they first fought. To go from that performance
Yeah.
to then just gassing out and looking just old. He just looked old when he fought Nate Diaz in that boxing match. I just don't think he has it anymore. It's kind of like Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold,
Oh yeah.
he's trying to lose in every single sport possible at this point. So it's just, I just don't see it with Jorge Masvidal. I feel like if he came back, it would look like a worse version of Rockhold versus Paulo Costa. So I
That's
don't
why it's
know.
perfect. That's why it's perfect. Connor is really bad. Connor is bad. Would be bad right now. Years of ring rust, titanium shin bone. I'm pretty sure that thing doesn't have the mobility he's used to.
Yeah.
So,
No,
so
it's
he
horrible.
needs an equally over the hill fighter who can still scrap in a stand up exchange. Connor is not going to take him down. Connor is not going to shoot for a takedown. It's
No,
going to be a
never,
stand up
never.
fight. And okay, I know Jorge Masvidal did lose a boxing match and all, but he was someone who knocked out Darren Till. So he had the
A
ability. And
long
Connor,
time ago.
I
Like
know,
seven
a
seven years
long
ago.
time ago, exactly. So let's consider this a legends matchup. Some two people who are over the hill, but put them together, they're equally bad. We might see a knockout. So hey, everyone wins. Connor
Honestly,
fights in the corner.
just get Nate Diaz. Just get Nate Diaz and Connor do the trilogy. It's a more sensible fight. Because does Jorge Masvidal deserve to fight Conor now? In 2019, yes. Even in 2020, absolutely. But I don't think Jorge Masvidal is a legend. I think that word gets thrown around way too
Uh,
much these days with these
true,
fighters.
true.
Like
Yeah.
Anthony Smith is a legend. Really? What has he done ever? Jorge Masvidal is a legend. Okay, why though? He's a journeyman who has
Viral
a
knockout star.
not
Let me
so great
rephrase it.
record. Yeah, knockout star. He has the fastest knockout in UFC history.
Yeah.
So he's part of history, but I wouldn't say legend. First BMF champion, sure, but it's the BMF title. It's like, no.
It's a BMF title.
Like he's a journeyman, honestly. I think Connor, Nate Diaz, the trilogy, both of them are over the hill.
Yeah.
And there's a story behind it. Connor's been talking about the trilogy for however long. It's the only fight that would ever get Nate Diaz back into the UFC. Just do that and be done with it because Conor McGregor is someone you don't want to give leverage to if you're Dana White in the UFC because Conor McGregor will use that leverage to make money outside of the UFC in a combat sports context. So have him fight somebody that he could believably beat, but also lose to. Because if he goes in there and just destroys Jorge Masvidal, which he may or may not do, he's going to take that and all right, cool. Like I can now go do a boxing match because hey, look, my last fight was a win. But if you have him fight Nate Diaz, you'll make the most money possible out of anyone he could fight outside of like just a circus fight like Conor McGregor versus John Jones, which would never happen, obviously, weight classes. But have him fight Nate Diaz, the trilogy. It'll get all the casual fans on board. Everybody will watch it. You'll make a lot of money, and you can just let them ride off into the sunset because that's good enough. I think that's the only thing you can really do because this UFC White House card is just it's just a corpse of a card. There's nothing you can put on it. You can't even put Adesanya on it because he's fighting Joe Pyfer now on a fight night card.
Oh God,
So
that is not gonna go well. I
who could you
feel.
do? Yeah, that's not a good fight. So what do you even do if you're the UFC? Who could you even put on the UFC White House card? There are no big stars. Maybe Topuria, I don't know, but I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tupuria versus the winner of Paddy versus Justin.
Yes.
That.
Maybe,
Yeah, that's possible. I
maybe.
mean, Tupuria is the big name, and he said he'd come back sometime in April, May, right?
Yeah.
So potentially. But since we're talking about big names, John Jones, he's been begging Dana White for a chance at the White House. I don't know. It's very strange with what's going on with Jones because he's been calling out Alex Pereira, and Alex Pereira has sent out a message. He's done a lot of stuff. So once he stood in front of the Coliseum and he wanted to fight John Jones. Now he had that tire in his
Yeah.
tire shop with next Jones written on it and all that. So that is the fight to make. But what is even happening? Like we'll talk about Khamzat also. Is that why does every single fighter want to move up? It's so strange, right? I mean, Alex Pereira is the light heavyweight champion. He's been a two division champion. Obviously, he's trying to be the triple UFC champion, the first to do that.
Right.
But John Jones, really? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this.
Mm.
People wanting to fight Alex Pereira, Hamzat, and John Jones, it's not a coincidence. Like, look, let me get this out of the way first. Alex Pereira is a great fighter. He has done a lot for the sport. A lot, like he pulled off some legendary feats in his across his sports career. But in MMA, he has clear deficiencies, and people know it. Hamzat won't be chopping at
Mm.
the bits to move up to light heavyweight if it was Magomed and Kalaev at the top. He won't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alex Pereira, he knows if he plays his cards right, Hamzat knows he can just hold him down, do the same thing he did to Drake Duplessis. Mostly the same
Mm.
thing. John Jones, he's not terrible at his feet. He's pretty good. He outboxed like Stipe Miocic, like outstruck, I should say, not boxed, but
Mm.
wrestling game, the guy took down DC, okay. Alex Pereira is a small fry for him. So for
Yeah.
Alex Pereira, for John Jones, it's like a low risk, high reward kind of deal. Another legend on his resume,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have to sweat it. He can just do that. He can just have the approach he had for Gustafsson, and he would still win. Like he doesn't even need to train most of the time. I think he can just show up,
Mm.
hold him down, do his thing on the ground. He might win. Hamza Chimaev, he's just trying to do the same thing. He just want to, kickstart his legacy, like, catapult to one of those legends. How can he do that? The same Conor McGregor route: win one title, immediately win the next title. That's what he's trying to do, and
Yeah.
doing it at the biggest stage ever possible, the UFC White House, that makes the achievement even more bigger, right? Like legendary, truly legendary. So I don't
Mm.
believe how I don't blame Hamzat. I don't blame John Jones. Like they are doing what they should be doing. I hope Dana White goes with the heavyweight legend and not Hamzat Chimaev for the White House.
Yeah.
Let them scrap and find out. Hey, you never know. One button punch to the chin, Jones might see stars, and hey, we get the first
Yeah.
ever triple champ. Oh no, it won't be for the
Not
title,
for
but still,
Maybe.
again, it won't be for the
No,
title.
no
So
title on the line.
Aspinall
Yeah.
is still there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But hey,
Honestly, I think nobody should pay attention to what Hamzat is calling for because, yeah, when Conor McGregor did it, he had just knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
That's an insane feat. He didn't go in there and take him down and control him for 25 minutes, which is impressive. That would have been impressive, but it's not exciting. It doesn't cause anyone to want to see him move up in weight. Conor McGregor was a significantly bigger star than Hamza Chimaev was. And Hamza Chimaev is a big star himself. But when you factor in that he hasn't been exciting in the cage, that was a very boring performance against Dricus du Plessis. You have no title defense whatsoever, and you already want to move up. Defend your title at least once. Only a few fighters get the privilege of, okay, you won the title just now, you can move up without defending it. Even Ilya Topuria had to defend his title once before moving up to lightweight. Hamzat should defend it once. He's not had an exciting fight at the very top, so he needs to do something. And it makes it even worse because he recently, well, fairly recently, he spoke about why he doesn't want to fight Imavov. And the only reason he doesn't want to fight Imavov is because Imavov is Dagestani. And that's not a good reason to not want to fight someone. Why are you a champion if you want to pick and choose who you fight based on where they're from? That's not, that just kind of, takes a shit on the integrity of the sport. So Hamzat, defend the title at least once, do that. And then he can maybe move up to light heavyweight because he didn't earn it, really. Whereas John Jones is, yeah, that's a decent fight because for Alex Pereira, that's a big reward, low risk because you get to move up. No title is on the line. So even if you lose, you're still a champion. If you win, you're the first guy to legitimately beat John Jones. That will just launch you into the stratosphere and it will immediately earn him a heavyweight title. If he loses, okay, so what? You lost to John Jones. the former heavyweight champion, the GOAT of the sport, you can just move back down and keep defending your light heavyweight title. If you lose to Hamzat, you lost to a smaller guy with no title defenses, and you now have no prospects of ever getting your title back. Fight John Jones. If you win, you win. It does a lot for your leg. Beating Hamza does nothing for Alex Pereira's legacy. Beating John Jones does everything. It's going to earn you a heavyweight title shot. You'll be the first guy to beat John Jones. And you'll make history. And for Alex Pereira, honestly, I think he would beat he wouldn't beat John Jones, but I think he'd have an easier time beating John Jones than Hamzat. Hamzat will get that takedown immediately. Yeah. Immediately. He will shoot.
He'll shoot from Dagestan, man. He'll shoot from Dagestan. He won't even wait.
He's from Chechnya. Watch out, they're going to come for you.
Chechnya. Oh, sorry. Chechnya. Yeah. Grozny, Chechnya.
He'll shoot immediately. Whereas John Jones, he'll try and feel things out. There is an avenue for him to beat John Jones because John Jones, as a striker, he's good, but defensively, he's not that good. John Jones has an insane chin, and he uses his height and reach to get out of sticky situations in striking. So he'll lean away from punches, shuffle away from them and he'll stick his lead hand out, poke you in the eye. He'll just post, retreat, lean away. And that works against most people because he's longer and taller than everybody. I mean, the guy has the wingspan of someone who's 7 feet tall, even though he's 6'4". But Alex Pereira is 6'4". And besides Cyril Gane, every single time John Jones has fought someone who is either as tall as him or just an inch taller, so like Gustafsson and Dominic Reyes, he struggles. He did beat Gustafsson very comfortably in the rematch, but that's only after Gustafsson tore his groin. Before Gustafsson tore his groin in that fight, it was a very boring, even fight. And then Gustafsson tore his groin. Suddenly, John Jones could get the takedown really easily. And the reason he struggles is because when you're tall and long enough, John Jones can't just out-wrestle you as easily because he'll go for a double leg and he gets it on almost anybody because his arms are so long that even if you widen your base, he can still hook his hands behind your thighs, even if you spread your legs out wide. It's how he took down DC. And honestly, if Alex Pereira, he's not going to get that type of wrestling ever, but if he could, learn to widen your base properly, John Jones is not getting easy takedowns. Unless he does something with a body lock like he did with Cyril Gane. But that means having to get really close to Alex Pereira. And you get that close to Pereira, you're having to face that left hook. There's an avenue, but we all know what would happen if that fight took place. Jones is taking him down, submitting him, that's it. But it's the better fight for Pereira. Unfortunately, Dana White doesn't trust John Jones with good reason. Yeah. So honestly, the White House card is doomed. I don't think there's much you can do outside of getting Topuria to headline it. And I don't know, I guess Colby Covington or something. That's the only thing you can do. There's not much else.
Yeah, it does really look like that, right?
It's going to be a slap in the face of the UFC if that's the card they put out, right? After all
UFC 300, after UFC 300, people don't trust them as it is.
Yeah, exactly, right? It looks like it's going to be a terrible card. But we'll see. We have like a month to know what's going to happen. But yeah, let's end this episode with our UFC 324 predictions. I know you guys have already spoken about Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, so let's do the co-main, which has been pushed up. It's Sean O'Malley and Strong Yadong. O'Malley is trying to get back into the title scene. Yadong also is trying to get back into the title scene. He did lose to Peter Yan, but his last win was against Henry Cejudo. But again, it's Henry Cejudo, so yeah. What do you guys think? Like, I'm not feeling it for this co-main, man. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right, man. I don't know what's up.
Ricardo, thoughts?
Yeah, I think we'll play
I was gonna let you
meme
go.
of crickets. I'm gonna put the meme of the cricket sound. Yeah, there's nothing going on. Moving on.
I was gonna let Ujjwal go. Honestly, Yeah, Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong, who cares? Um, Sean O'Malley's star potential took a massive hit after losing twice, back to back, to Merab. And it doesn't help that the second fight was completely undeserved. Nobody wanted to see that. I still don't understand the logic of Dana White, at the press conference, whenever they would ask him, why did you give him an immediate rematch? Oh, because, everybody wanted to see it. Who's everybody? Who's everybody? That fight announcement got booed at the press conference. Who's everybody? Nobody was asking for this fight except the UFC, I guess. So his star potential has really taken a hit because you lose twice to Merab, and then and not just lose. You gave Merab his first finish in how long? Merab doesn't finish anybody, anyone. So not a good look. And now he's talking about, oh yeah, one win and I'm back in the tie. That's like, oh my God, do we really want to see this? I'm not interested in that. I'm just not interested. As far as how the fight goes, I think O'Malley wins. Song Yadong is a more well-rounded fighter, but being more well-rounded does not always translate to success because Song Yadong is mostly a striker. I don't think he has the wrestling and grappling skills to really cause any kind of trouble for O'Malley. And that boxing style that he has, I think O'Malley's just too long, too fast, just too snappy of a striker. I think he's just going to, I don't know if he'll knock him out, but I think he'll outstrike him. I think he'll just be very snappy, too quick, and Song Yadong gets hit a lot. His defense is not good. So, yeah, I think Sean O'Malley, unanimous decision. That's it. It's not a fun fight.
Yeah, the same thing. I feel Yadong is too heavy on his feet, so O'Malley can piece him up from range, and striking exchanges. He's clearly gonna outstrike Yadong. And if Song Yadong wants to win, he better commit to wrestling. Like, not allow Sean O'Malley to get his striking going. Like, disrupt his momentum every time he starts exchanges. Maybe that way, maybe he could squeak out a win. But he allows O'Malley to get his momentum going. He is getting pieced up. It's not going to be a knockout. I don't think it's very easy to knock out Song Yadong. He's a very strong guy, really good chin too. I believe very durable. But yeah, he'll just outstrike him easily too. But the fun thought is, let's say the rematch happens between Merab and Peter Yan, and Merab loses again. Peter Yan needs another contender, and let's say Sean O'Malley wins. That could be an interesting fight, regardless of people's feelings about how the first fight played out. It could be an interesting striking fight. So hey, that could be not a blockbuster. I wouldn't go as far as to say it would be a blockbuster, but it could be a very good co-main event to some other bigger cards. So heck, why not? Why not?
Could be.
Could be. We need to talk about the third fight. I think this could be one of the big. I think it's going to be a spectacular fight. It's going to be Derek Lewis versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Yeah.
Cortez Acosta,
Cortez Acosta. So Derek Lewis is always there. Either he'll knock somebody out or he will get knocked out or submitted. Same thing for Cortez Acosta. So what do you guys think what's going to happen?
I need to see that post-win celebration, man. So that's it. I want to see that.
Honestly,
my balls are too hot.
Honestly, I think Cortez Acosta just, I think he destroys him. The thing is, Derek Lewis is until the fight is over, he's always in that fight because the power he has is just that's a nuclear bomb. But I never pick someone to win because they hit really, 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 really hard if there's not the technique to back it up. And with Derek Lewis, I think Derek Lewis as a striker is pretty bad. He does way better against wrestlers. Like if you notice that, Derek Lewis does way better against wrestlers and grapplers than anything. Whenever he fights strikers, that's where he struggles the most. And Cortez Acosta, he has an insane chin. I mean, that guy, Even Sergey Pavlovich couldn't hurt him. Cortez
Yeah.
Acosta, I think Cortez Acosta just demolishes him. I mean, I don't think he's knocking him out unless Derek Lewis quits, but I just don't see how Derek Lewis would win outside of a Hail Mary right hand that just lands.
True.
So I'm going to say Cortez Acosta. I think he wins. And I
Yeah.
think if he wins and Tom Aspinall comes back and beats Cyril
Yeah.
Gahn,
Yeah.
we get a fun fight. We get a really fun fight with some nice build-up.
Yeah. Dude, I think that is the storyline right there. That would be actually pretty cool. And I think Acosta could knock out Derek Lewis, man, because he has been knocked out before, TKO'd rather. So it is not outside the realm of possibility. And what you said is true. Like Derek Lewis, he does better against grapplers because all he needs is that one connection, right? We all saw against
Yeah.
Curtis Blades. So when he's put up against a very competent striker, he can't get his game going. And that
Yeah.
might happen this time also. And then he gets desperate and throws wild hooks, leaving openings and get chinned. That might happen this time. True, I'm also going to go with the Costa, man. And let the storyline unfold
Yeah.
itself after that. Tom Aspinall, we'll see. That is a good
Yeah.
storyline. So hey,
Yeah, that will be a very fun build-up. So, finally the UFC's back after such a long break.
yeah.
Sheesh.
Let's hope this year doesn't crash and burn with the whole UFC White House thing. Let's hope at least they have a decent card. Let's hope they don't burn themselves out by putting everyone in there and leaving rest of the year looking like a freaking graveyard. So we'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So, hey,
we will. Hopefully everything will be good.
yeah. A fun episode. We had some good discussions, good talking points, crazy
Yeah.
UFC White House discussion. So we'll see. Comment below whether you guys agree with what we said or if you guys think we are full of shit. So let us know in the comments below and like, subscribe, and hey, all the rest of the good stuff. See you guys next one. It's us signing off.
Take care, guys.
Sure.